Hey everyone, Skull902 back here for yet another part of Yoshi's Island. This is part 6, and in this part we're going to be going through the back half of World 3, so that should be fun and exciting. Hopefully, anyway. But the first thing that I want to talk about here in this part is like a bit of a correction, or perhaps more of an elaboration. I feel like I skimmed over the roulette bonus game a little too much. I didn't really get the details in a particularly good way, so I'm gonna correct that now. God damn it! But the way that the roulette bonus works in Yoshi's Island is that you wager an amount of lives. It won't let you wager if you only have one left. But anything over 2, and it'll let you put in a bet. So you do that, and then there are these 2 wheels here with spinners, and they spin around like a roulette. That's very obviously why the game is called what it is. So you let those spin after placing your bet, and you can stop the wheel at any time. And, like, the first wheel has a plus sign and a multiplication sign, and the second wheel has numbers between 0 and 3. So, when you, tell the game to stop the wheel, also I was very lucky there not to die. But when you tell the game to stop the wheels, they'll slow down gradually, and, it'll either be plus or times, and the number that it lands on. And this has the potential to gain you a shitload of lives, but also you can lose some lives, though it's not quite as likely. So just as an example, no matter how much you bet, if you get plus 0 or times 1, then it'll just give you those lives back. But if you land on a times 0, it'll take away the lives that you wagered. And then, if you're crazy enough to do it, you could just bet all of your lives, and say, like, at the maximum, right? I think you can bet 99 lives, at one time. So, like, if you were lucky enough to do that and get a times 3, like, it'll give you the lives back that you bet plus, however many more. So, like, again, in that situation, you bet 99 and you get a times 3, then it'll reward you with 297 lives. So, that's pretty crazy. And also probably the reason why the game will cap your life count at 999 as opposed to the traditional 99, probably to make some of these bonus games work a little better. So that's a little interesting trivia tidbit and whatnot. But enough about the roulette game. I think I explained it pretty well this time. Instead, I want to get back to the Crimbo Chronicles. And talk about, like, traditions and whatnot that I like to partake in and stuff. So I'm gonna mention, like, Christmas specials and things that I watch for the holiday again. Last time I said that, like, I had talked a bit enough about, like, non-gaming related ones, but I feel like it'll help me more with my commentary if I just go through with it. That, and I did find, between parts some gaming stuff that I, do typically watch that I can talk about here. So it's fine. It's fine. So the first special on my list, and by the way, just want to point this out again. If you want to talk about your Christmas-related traditions in the comments, then, feel free to do so. I welcome seeing what those are. And again, if you don't celebrate Christmas, that's fine too. You can let me know what traditions you get up to or whatever in the comments as well. So that out of the way. The first one that I would like to talk about is the Christmas episode from the second season of The Spectacular Spider-Man. Fucking love that show. It's like one of my favorite adaptations of Spider-Man ever. Beautiful story. Should have gotten more episodes, but the episode is called Reinforcement, and like at that point in the season, the Sinister Six is reformed with some new members and whatnot. You know, the Master Planner is slowly getting his master plan together. So, yeah. The Vulture is the villain of that one, and it's basically a story of like how Peter's just kind of unable to keep his promises to Gwen Stacy. But you know, there's like some fun bits and stuff. I feel like the comedy in Spectacular is pretty good, and the action is as well. So there's a recommendation for you. If you like Spider-Man, then you know that's a pretty good watch, in my opinion. Just before we get to the next one, though, I was seeing a new enemy type that I absolutely have to make mention of. So, in this level, we see the debut of Harry Hedgehog, and I believe the level is named after him, too. Harry Hedgehogs are, fast, annoying little fuckers who run around, and they get much bigger when you get close to them. And, you know, much like the Cat of Nine Tails, or Cat of Nine Tails in Donkey Kong Country 2, Harry Hedgehog is fairly obviously a Sonic the Hedgehog parody. I mean, they made him blue, for God's sake. And he's a hedgehog. Though Nintendo did a nice, and after Sega became a third-party developer, and, you know, there was no more tension between the companies, they did recolor Harry Hedgehog purple, which started in the Game Boy Advance release of this game. So, yeah. Harry Hedgehog, new enemy type. But, aside from that, back on the track of Christmas specials that I have a tendency to watch every year. Christmas Who, an episode of SpongeBob SquarePants, one of the earliest ones. Basically, the plot for that one is that neither SpongeBob nor any other natives of Bikini Bottom know exactly what this whole Christmas deal is. Sandy introduces SpongeBob to the concept, and he's all for it. Like, he's really excited. He gets everyone else excited, but Squidward's being a bit of a Scrooge. So, basically, like, SpongeBob tries to get him into the spirit and it doesn't work. And Squidward has to realize through a bit of a demoralizing moment for SpongeBob that perhaps his being a Scrooge wasn't exactly the best way to go about things. So again, fun special. It's got a really nice song in it too. So yeah, I quite like it. It's one of my favorite episodes. Great holiday viewing. Here's the roulette wheel again. And this time I actually put in a proper bet. So next up is there are 3 Power Rangers Christmas specials from like the early times of the show, like the Mighty Morphin and Zeo seasons. So I'm gonna run through those really quick. Rabbit and I watch those every year, and basically like. The first one is Alpha's Magical Christmas. It's a bit of a weird one where Alpha gets like sad that the Power Rangers can't visit him for Christmas. And so like Zordon teleports a bunch of kids into the command center to spend Christmas with him, and they sing all the traditional songs and shit, do activities and whatnot. And then eventually the Power Rangers come by anyway. So, like, I find it really weird. It's just a really weird special, but it's also kind of like, I don't know, it's got like this fuzzy, warm feeling to it too. So, you know, I still quite like it, even if it is like, you know, kind of questionable in concept, I suppose. The second one is from the third season. You know, it's not a direct-to-video thing like Alpha was, but in the third season there was an episode called I'm Dreaming of a White Ranger, where basically the plot of that one is that, I don't know, Lord Zed gets pissed off at Santa's existence or something. And he has his lackeys, Goldar and Rito Revolto, basically like hold up the North Pole so that Santa can't give any gifts to the children of the world. And the Power Rangers have to go stop him. And I remember when I first saw this episode, I was actually extremely disappointed. Because, like, you know, it's got, like, some fun comedy bits in it and whatnot. But, like, at the same time, they wrote in some, like, fucking bullshit about the North Pole having some weird properties and, like, oh man, Power Rangers, you can't use your powers in the North Pole or whatever. So they don't morph at all, which I feel is, like, a little disappointing. But, you know, that's the way it goes. It's a fine enough special. I still like Alpha's Magical Christmas a little bit more. But the one that Rabbit and I love the most is an episode from Power Rangers Zeo called A Season to Remember. And in this one, the Rangers and one of their friends are like organizing a sort of winter holiday themed party at the youth center. So they're doing that, and King Mondo sees this, and he's like, "What the fuck? You know, all these humans with their sentimental holidays. Let's just make them hate each other." So that's essentially just what they do. There's a hate spell put on them, and like a bunch of beautiful stuff, like all these corny insults that they throw at each other and whatnot, because they're like celebrating different holidays, of course. So like there's a few of them celebrating Christmas. The Ranger's friend is Jewish, so he's celebrating Hanukkah. Tanya wants to honor Kwanzaa. So they're all arguing about like which holiday is like the best one, and you know, it's kind of fun to see the Rangers be antagonistic toward each other, especially Johnny Young Bosch, because there is a beautiful fucking moment that Rabbit and I both love the shit out of in the episode where they're arguing about you know what holiday's the best. And Johnny, who plays Adam, you know, comes by, and he's just like, you know, in some cultures they don't even have a holiday around this season, like Korea. Like he's so fucking like assertive about it. I love it. But like eventually, the spell is broken by this little girl who is disappointed that there's not going to be a holiday party anymore. So she sings this really like unremarkable song, and somehow that undoes the evil that these magic alien robots have put on the Rangers and their friend, and everybody forgives each other, and realizes that the true way to go about things is just to accept the differences of other people. So, you know, a good lesson that they're, you know, teaching in that one. And, you know, I find it to be a fun special, you know. So, yeah, A Season to Remember from Power Rangers Zeo. Good one. That's my absolute favorite of the Power Rangers episodes that Rabbit and I like to watch every year for the Crimbo season. So yeah, we are getting into sort of the end of this part here pretty soon, so I'm gonna skip a bit ahead, and I'll briefly mention like some more of the gaming ones. First of which being the Congo Bongo Festival of Lights from Donkey Kong Country. Now, I did talk about this in my DKC2 LP, so I won't go on for too much. But like it's a fun story where like General Clump feels left out because he doesn't really have any family to go to for Christmas. Meanwhile, Captain Scurvy is using the holiday to try and take over Congo Bongo, and like through some shenanigans and help from Donkey Kong, the two realize that they are brothers. So, you know, it's a fun little special with a heartwarming moment at the end, and good songs as well. Like, I don't really know how often it is in that show that they have like two good songs. You know, because usually it's like one of the songs will be good and then the other one will be like not quite as much. But I quite like it. It's a fun episode in my opinion. So yeah, Congo Bongo Festival of Lights. But another one of the things that we tend to watch are like the Christmas episodes of the Angry Video Game Nerd. So, you know, AVGN, James Rolfe is a creator that I have quite a tremendous amount of respect for. And, like, he really, you know, hits it out of the park usually when it comes to the Christmas specials, because, like, that's one of his favorite things, too, so it makes sense to me. But, like, the first one that he ever did was a crossover with a show called Captain S, and like that one's fairly alright, if a bit confusing, because like we're not really all that familiar with Captain S. But you know, it's fun, and it has a really good joke at the end, because like you know he wasn't allowed to swear. Because Captain S was more so of like a general audience thing. So when he receives a copy of Home Alone 2 for the NES as a gift, he's just like, you know, you could have given me a lump of coal instead, or better yet, a bag of poop. Like, I don't know why I find that so funny, but I do. But, like, my favorite AVGN Christmas episode is the one that's sort of a direct sequel to that one, at least in the nerd continuity. Captain S, not so much. But it's like his Christmas Carol sort of episode where, like, they did it in two parts. AVGN gets rather miffed about always having to review shitty games, so... you know, he has like a big old rage about it, and then he gets knocked out, and he's visited by the ghosts of Christmas past, present, and Christmas yet to come. So, you know, there's plenty of good segments in there, like when he's looking at footage of you know, his home movies as a kid, or like, Future Nerd is a particular highlight of that one, where, like, you know, he's old and gray, throws out his back playing Super Monkey Ball Banana Blitz. You know, it's a good time. I quite enjoy that one. It's my favorite of his Christmas specials that he's done. But I'll talk about that a bit more. They're introducing a new mechanic here. Like, you could do that before, and in fact, I did one before too. Or wait, no, not quite like this. You could always bank the eggs off of walls and stuff, but there's like a skipping stones mechanic in this, which I think is pretty cool and is going to be pretty necessary for the boss that we're going to face. So basically, like, you know, if you hit an egg across like a wall or against a wall and it's over a body of water, the egg can skip over the water. Which we've seen a couple times here. I'm trying to get this fucking Piranha Plant, and I have no idea what's off with my throws on this one. But eventually I will get the motherfucker, if I'm not mistaken. But again, it's quite necessary to beating the boss in this one. If you want to face him the normal way, and I'll get into that like a little bit later. So yeah, just a fun mechanic that they introduced in here. Makes the eggs a little more versatile, in my opinion. So yeah. But back to the AVGN for just a bit, because, you know, there's some more Christmas specials of his that I want to briefly mention. Bible Games 2, I think is a particularly good special, especially when he gets to the CDI portion. Like, there's some pretty, like, not so great looking stuff when it comes to the CDI and Christmas. Or at least, like, you know, Bible games on there. That system's library is, like, so fucking interesting. The variety of shit that you can find on the CDI, man. But then there was also, like, an episode that he did where he was basically talking about, like, the catalogs that you would get mailed by various retailers during the season. And that was, I believe, the beginning of, like, his wishlist series, where he reviewed a bunch of games that fans had requested of him for quite some time, which I think is, like, a really good way to tie that in to such a thing, you know. Obviously, you can't do all of your fan requests that you're sent, but, like, if you're sent, like, a bunch of ones, you know, you can grab the most common ones, and I think that he used the catalogs as, like, a framing device to great effect for those episodes. So, good on him. Good on him. I remember he reviewed Shadow the Hedgehog for that one. And I was pleasantly surprised to hear, like, he didn't really think it was that bad. So, kind of the same opinion that I have on that game, where it's like, you know, the story is definitely something to criticize, but like, the game itself as a game, it's not so bad. But, you know, that's for a potential Shadow the Hedgehog LP. And just one more. He also did a series of bad cover arts. You know, so, like, he did a bunch of short videos reviewing various cover arts for games that didn't look the greatest. The only ones in particular that I remember are Mega Man for the NES, which, yeah, pretty fucking bad, and the very simplistic Sega Master System cover art that a lot of those games had. And, you know, I didn't really think it when I first saw those many years ago, but he's got a point. That cover art isn't terribly good. And oftentimes fairly confusing as well. So, yeah, just a good series of videos that the man makes, and I wanted to highlight some of the Christmas ones. But now we're getting into the boss here. This is the Naval Piranha, and this is probably my favorite boss fight in the game. Like, the end world boss music is fucking amazing, and I think suits this boss the best, but you know, I told you about that, you know, bank shot thing with the eggs, and basically your thing here is The Piranha is going to be standing on one side, but he's got that big old boil there that you need to hit. So, just, you know, aim your eggs correctly, it'll bounce across the water, and it'll get him. You don't have to hit him too terribly often, and he telegraphs the shit out of his attacks, too. So it's none too bad, and if you hit him 3 times, bip bap boom, there you go. He's defeated. He's done for. He's finished. There is a secret way to, like, basically skip the boss in its entirety. And I will show it off in the second extra video. But just off the top of my head now, it's kind of difficult, but, you know, he's just a little bud when you enter the room. And it is possible to hit the little bud before Kamek has a chance to come in and be like, ah, Yoshi, this is the boss. You know, if you do that, then Kamek actually has special dialogue for, you know, killing the boss before the battle even starts. It's fun. And again, I'll show that off in the second extra part. But that'll do it for this one. I'll see you next time in part 7. The second half of the game starts then. Until then, I've been Skull902. Thank you for watching and have yourselves a wonderful day.